Hey there neighbors, welcome back to the channel. This is Anarchy in the 603. You're here for another postcard from your friendly neighborhood anarchist. Absolutely nobody's favorite, D-tier production, quality, off-dome, unscripted, lightly edited, dispatch from wherever I'm sitting to wherever you are right now. Between the oppressive heat and humidity and the depressing news every single day, I have been having a really hard time keeping myself together enough to be active and present in the world, to be engaged without sapping myself of my energy and my ability to move forward without feeling like there's a weight on my chest, you know? And that's been kind of hard, but it's like when Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers, you know? In this case, though, instead of me looking for someone to help me, what I have been doing as of late in order to cope and also to build community and just to put a little bit of good in the world is I have been helping out. One of my good friends, we'll call her Jill. Jill has an elderly father who is living all the way out west and needs to move back east. Well, Jill also has a mom who is an amazing woman, just absolutely brilliant, has had a fascinating life full of incredible stories, but she's also in the early stages of dementia. She's not losing anything long term and she's not forgetting people yet, but short term stuff is really hard for her. And sometimes, you know, we'll tell the same story several times in an afternoon. You know, she's needing somebody to be there for her for this next month while Jill is all the way across the country, and I volunteered. That's one of the joys of being a basically early retired person. I have been trying to make myself useful in my community by any means possible, and this is one of them. When Jill reached out and asked if I could come over at least once a day for the next month to make sure that her mom got her pills together, I was like, absolutely. So every day I head on down that way. You know, it's only 10 minutes from my place. I happen to be in that neighborhood all the time anyway. I've got family that lives out there as well. I stop by and see all the time. You know, I stop by, see the grandkids, and then I go over and see Jill's mom, and we'll hang out for like a couple of hours, man. And it is such a great time. Like, I see the way her eyes light up when she answers the door every afternoon, and I get to hang out with her and her cats and just do my embroidery and talk about my family. And sometimes she remembers bits and pieces, sometimes she doesn't. And if I tell her the same story 2 days in a row, or even, you know, an hour from the last time I told her, it's just as fresh to her then as it was the last time. It's like none of my stories ever get old to her. And for her, she's been telling me a ton of family stories. And even though a lot of them are the same story, day to day, there's more details that are coming out as she gets to remember. And that's the thing. Like, yes, you know, I am getting compensated by Jill to help out because, you know, there's the gas involved and stuff and my time. But I told her straight out when she asked me, like, dude, I would do it for free. I mean, I've got nothing but time on my hands and you're one of, like, my wicked old friends. And she was like, no, I insist. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm only going to say no once. This is something that even after Jill comes home, I definitely plan on stopping by at least once or twice a week just for a couple of hours to hang out. Because when it comes to dementia and like the early stages of it, you can help mitigate the, you know, the decline, the steepness of the decline, and even reverse some of it by adding in exercise, by adding in socialization, by adding in new experiences, by adding music that they enjoyed back in the day. There's so many things that can help mitigate some of the effects of dementia and Alzheimer's. And, you know, she's in her mid-80s. Of course, all of us have our time and we all slip eventually. But if I can spend a couple of hours out of my day making sure that she stays healthy while her mom's, well, her, no, mom, while her daughter's away. At some point, we do eventually start parenting our parents. Yeah, if I can spend a couple of hours a day, just not a whole ton of my time, neighborhood kids, just enjoying her company and doing my art and craft and just building community, and also maybe helping her expand and extend her quality of life by doing that. Yes, that's an uplifting feeling that, I mean, any one of us can relate to, you know? And by building that community with her, then, you know, I'm strengthening my friendship bonds with Jill, and I can hopefully, like, broaden everyone's, like, bubble a little bit and help folks feel less alone. Every revolution needs more than just marching in the streets. Every revolution needs more than just information. We need joy too. We need support. We need mutual aid and care. And yes, right now I am barely able to get through a day without wanting a nap. I'm living in a country that is protecting child predators actively and doing a pretty poor job of hiding the fact that they are protecting child predators, and to the point where, you know, the child predator in chief is trying his damnedest to distract from, like, all of it by staging a stupid takeover in Washington where the crime rate's already the lowest it's been in 30 years, but, you know, desperate people do desperate stuff. And it's, like, really hard to, like, not feel a little, like, re-victimized every day in a way by that. Like, to be thinking about how this country's never really cared for, especially, you know, protecting young women from sexual violence. The predation on young women is something that's just been sort of baked into our society from the beginning, and it's like, you gotta pull yourself out of that spiral sometimes. It's how I've been doing it, you know? Like, just focus on something that can bring me some joy. Do a little something that can bring joy to others. This way we can build strength in order to keep going. And frankly, hanging out with Jill's mom has been very life-affirming. It's bringing her a lot of joy, and I know that it's a great weight off of my friend's mind. Together, if we stick around in this, who knows? You know, maybe we'll get through this next 4 years of living in a cult that none of us really signed up for. Anyway, neighbors, it's good seeing you. Come on around to the backyard again anytime you like. You know, I always keep a light on for you. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot of daylight left, and I'm still working on a whole lot of embroidery, so if anyone watches this and actually would like to see a tour of my work sometime, let me know in the comments. I mean, I got nothing but time, and we all need a little bit of joy in our day, right? Anyway, you take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.